Oh my goodness. I'm an addict. My name is Kitti. It's a rough fucking crowd, huh? Nobody's laughing at the key tag jokes. Jeez Louise. Well, if you don't laugh at my jokes, it's okay. I think I'm fucking funny.
Yeah, you are. Oh, yeah.
Me either. Aaliyah, Tyler, Tom, Evan, welcome home. You never have to fucking use again. You are not gonna understand a single word I say, and that's okay, baby. Keep coming back. You will. My heart is like hanging out my asshole right now. Oh, I'm anxious.
Prove it.
That's an outside issue. I'm anxious, right? So I just left another meeting, and like I gotta share where I'm at so I can get me out of the way. I just left another meeting, and in that meeting, there was a situation happened in that meeting that I have been dreading for like 6 months. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was inevitable, and it happened, and like I'm sad. I'm a little fucking sad right now. And that's okay. Because the best part of recovery is I got my feelings back. And the worst part of recovery is I got my feelings back. I have 3,730 days clean.
Fuck yeah.
Woo! I'll do the math for you. That's 10 years. 3 months and 2 days.
Yep.
And it has not been easy. So I'm going to qualify a little bit because there are a lot of faces in here that I don't know, which tells me that it's not working out there still. So I'm going to qualify so that, I want you to identify with me, right? Because we talk about it, our readings talk about it. It doesn't matter what you used, how much you used, who your connections were, what you've done in the past. We only care about what you want to do about your problem and how we can help. But the truth is like when I came in here, if people weren't telling me what their life was like before they got here, and they sat up here and they talked about all the good shit and all the Gucci shit and the cars and the girls and the boys and the dog and the house and the boat, like I wasn't listening to you. Because when I got here, I hated myself. Right? When I got here, I was nothing but a dumpster diving junkie. When I got here, I didn't think I was worth more than $3. And that's a true statement. I was born and raised in Broward County. I got high here, I got clean here, and I stayed clean here, and I got high right up the street. I grew up right up the street from here. And I say that not to impress you, but it impresses the shit out of me, and like the truth is I can stay clean no matter where the fuck I am as long as I use Narcotics Anonymous. I came from a home that was very broken, right? I had 2 different homes. My parents split when I was 6 weeks old. My mother is an incredible, overbearing, wonderful codependent. And my father is, as far as I know, an active addict. He always was growing up. So my mother would tell me all of the things that you guys have taught me in recovery. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, I'm pretty enough. I can do whatever I set my mind to. But my father said all of the things that my dis-ease still tells me to this day. I'm too fat, I'm too pale, I'm not smart enough, no one's ever going to fucking love me, I don't belong here. And like, he reaffirmed that for me. My first drug of choice was attention and food. Right? I used attention and food the same way I used any other substance that I used. Like, I wanted all of it. I wanted more. I would sneak out of my bedroom in the middle of the night to go into the fridge to eat fucking packets of bologna. Because I just wanted to feel something. Because I didn't know how to feel between the two worlds, right? I didn't feel like I fit in either space. I just wanted to feel something, to feel anything. And at the end of my road, I was living behind a dumpster less than 2 blocks from here, eating stale Dunkin' Donuts, or bagels, or whatever the hell there was, just enough to get something in my stomach to go cop, right? And I didn't think that I was ever going to be anything else. My family tried to get me clean in 2007. Nobody bothered to ask me if I wanted to get fucking clean. So if you're sitting in treatment and you don't want to be in treatment, been there, bud. It's okay. I didn't want to get clean when I got clean this time. And here the fuck I am. 10 years later. And some days even still I don't want to be fucking clean. No, maybe that's not it. Because I want to be clean, right? Because I didn't really like who the fuck I was when I was using. I was unreliable, I was dishonest, I was insecure, I was angry, I was relentless, I was prideful. So I don't want to be that person. But like I can become that person clean. Right? The drugs were just a symptom of my disease. Right? Listen, it is always about the drugs for me. As long as I don't pick up the first one, I can't get high. But the drugs are just a symptom of my disease. The drugs were the object of my obsession. The drugs were the gateway to relief. But the truth is like without spiritual principles, I'm a fucking maniac. Even with clean time, I'm a fucking maniac. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, I'm sorry, it's been a rough few days. It's been a rough few days. And I am Petty fucking LaBelle. That one took a second to kick in. I love like the front row here. They're not afraid to laugh. The rest of you, I love you too. But, you know, it's fine. My very first sponsor asked me, what do you do for fun? I was like, smoke crack? Like, she goes, no, like now. I was like, I don't know. I go, what the fuck do you do for fun? Listen, when I got here, ask Steve, like, he'll tell you, I was rough. I was rough around the edges when I got here. I said, what do you do for fun? She goes, I laugh. What the fuck is there to laugh about? I'm living in a halfway house. Y'all picked me up and just threw me there. Nobody bothered. The only reason I stayed clean for the first year of my recovery was because I had made a promise to the God of my parents' understanding that I was going to stay clean for a year, and if it didn't get better, Florida wasn't running out of dope. Right? So I'm living in a halfway house. I'm miserable. The bitch in the other room is eating my peanut butter. I have to go to these fucking meetings. Tijuana Flats is like, no, I'm sorry, you don't have the personality to sell our tacos, so I gotta mow lawns. I gotta mow fucking lawns and pick up dog shit and do demo work to pay rent in halfway, smoke way too many cigarettes, drink way too many energy drinks, and eat a lot of shitty diner food. And I'm miserable, right? And then I'm sitting at that fucking diner. I'm going to embarrass the shit out of myself right now. But it's fine. I don't care. You can't judge me and you can't say I was here. So. I'm sitting at that diner somewhere around 6 months clean. And somebody makes a dick joke. Right? Who doesn't love a good dick joke, right? Somebody makes a dick joke. And I don't remember what the dick joke was. There was a hot dog on the table. That's all I remember. And I laughed so hard. I peed my pants in that fucking diner. And I had never laughed that hard, right? And I go home later that night to like shower and change. And as I'm showering, I'm going like, I cannot remember the last time I laughed that hard. Because nobody in the dope hole fucking laughs. I'm like, yo, you got that? They're like, you're $2 short. I'm like, bro, you know I'll be back. Right? Nobody laughs in a fucking dope hole. I'm not laughing when I'm living behind a dumpster. I'm not laughing when I'm laying next to a motherfucker that I don't like. I'm not laughing when I'm finding ways and means to get more. And that was my first experience with sponsorship because I called her the next day and I said, I just had the greatest belly laugh and you were so right. Right? Like that was it. She gave me this nugget of experience and then I was able to experience it and I started to believe that this shit could work. It wasn't step work that did it for me. It was the fucking dick joke.
Still is.
Still is. I love a good dick joke. They're all jokes. I'm kidding. I'm struggling in the relationships department. I'm having a real hard time. Stay away from me. I'm single and I'm not mingling. Leave me alone. Oh, fuck.
Good vibes, young man.
Fuck. 6 and 7 step at least. Bare minimum. If you don't know what that means, it's okay. It's fine. Some days I don't know what that means. Oh my God. I was like, oh shit, this might work. And my first sponsor taught me a lot of really valuable lessons. Right? Like how to brush my teeth. I didn't know you were supposed to clean in between your toes in the shower. I didn't know that. I didn't know how to use a dishwasher properly. I didn't know that I needed to get up every day, and part of self-love was brushing my teeth and I had hair at the time, brushing my teeth and brushing my hair and making my bed and taking care of I did not know that that was part of the shit I needed to do. Because I don't know about you, but even today, there are moments where it is difficult for me to get out of bed because my whole life feels like a wet blanket on my shoulders and making my bed is impossible. But she taught me that those are the acts of self-love that I needed to start, right? Let's talk about the first step. I'm going to have to read it because I can't fucking quote shit. We admitted that we were powerless over our addiction and that our lives would become unmanageable. That's a 2-part step. Because I knew that I was powerless I knew that I was powerless over drugs. I didn't understand what my addiction was until I got here. I knew that I was powerless over the fact that I always wanted more. I knew that I was powerless over the fact that I lived with this dis-ease in my skin. I knew that I was powerless over the fact that there was this fucking gaping hole in the middle of me, and it didn't matter what I stuffed it with. It was still there, and it was still sucking me in. Right? The disease of addiction to me is that dis-ease in my own skin when I'm laying in bed in the middle of the night going, I don't want to be in here anymore. This doesn't fit. It's not okay in here. That's what my first step was, and then my life was unmanageable. I was living in a fucking halfway house. I was using fucking donated shoes. Listen, when I got out of jail, I was in somebody else's t-shirt, a pair of fucking donated jeans, and jail slides. And you can't really find a job in jail slides, so I had to dig through somebody else's garbage bag. Right? Bitch is eating my peanut butter. I can't get a job at Tijuana Flats. I am out of my mind. My family won't talk to me. I can't pay my bills. I don't know what the fuck to do. Right? All I know how to do is get high and hate myself. So I show up to Narcotics Anonymous. I say, I have a problem. I can't live this way anymore. I did not want to do that when I got here. But my life is pretty fucking unmanageable. First step, you're fucked. I was fucked. And in my second step, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity, right? In my second step, listen, I'm a recovering Catholic. That was a funny one. You can fucking giggle. Jesus. The God of my misunderstanding was punishing. He was demanding. He was, what's the word I'm looking for? I had to give him shit. And he had overbearing. Yeah, that's for sure. That's not the one I'm looking for. Transactional. Right? The God of my understanding required that I live a certain way, which I wasn't going to do, in order for me to be loved by him. So, I thought this was a God step. For me, the second step is not a God step. The second step for me is about finding the humility to say, I don't know how to do this, but you do. You've been through a breakup clean. How the fuck did you do it without smoking crack? You know how to pay a light bill. How do you do that? Right? My second step says, I just need somebody other than me to tie my shoes and tell me which way to walk. Because when I get here, I don't know how to do that. And some days with 10 years clean, I don't know how to fucking do that. Because life shows up. Listen, I'm gonna burst your fucking bubble right now. Boop. You ready? This is not cupcakes and orgasms. It is not rainbows and blowjobs. It is light bills and weddings. It is funerals and retirement funds. It is arts and crafts and flat fucking tires. It's breakups and makeups and mistakes and life on life's terms. And there's somebody in this room who is going through what you're going through right now that can... I'm going to keep it on me. There's somebody in this room that has gone through what I have gone through, what I'm going through right now, that can help me get through it clean. Because even with 10 years clean, I don't know how to do everything. Listen, what time did you wake up today?
8 o'clock.
Good for you. You got 4 hours more than me today. Because I slept in. That's it. I'm not any different than you. I still need help. I'm just another addict trying to get a day clean. That's my second step. My second step is the hope that you give me that I can be restored to sanity. Which, I mean... I could definitely sell tacos now. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I sell ice cream for a living, okay? And I love my job. Don't get it twisted. I do. I love the uniforms suck, but I love my job. It's so good. It's so good. I'm no longer living in the insane ways that I used to live. Right? Me living with that hole, that gaping wide hole in my chest, trying to fill it with anything and everything. Right? With the desperation to find anything to make me feel better. I can't spend my way out of it. I can't eat my way out of it. I can't fuck my way out of it. I can't sleep my way out of it. Right? Like, you guys show me that it's okay for me to, like, be here, be myself, and not be an absolute maniac. Which, I mean, most days I'm pretty sane. Right? Like, I get up, I go to work, I brush my teeth, I make my bed. I didn't today because I was rushing out of the house, but that's fine. Like, I'm not as insane as I used to be. But at any point in my recovery, I can return to being insane. If you don't believe me, ask my friends. They will tell you it's fine. Because I live 1, 2, and 3 over and over again, right? My third step, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Now, this is the God step. Nadine used to say, and I can say her name because she died clean. Nadine used to say, if the word God scares you out of here, what's out there will scare you back in. If you make it. Right? Because everything's killing everybody today. Good orderly direction, group of drug addicts. Webster's defines God as a universal driving force. The God of my understanding is love. Right? Pure, unconditional, simple love. It's the love of the fellowship, of the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. It's the love that I can show up here on my best days and my worst days, and you guys don't ever tell me not to come back. They used to throw me out of dope holes, but they loved me here. Right? So I take the God piece out. But in my third step, I have to make a decision to turn my will and my life. My will is anything that I want to do, which usually is the wrong decision. Like 3 days ago, I wanted to put a baseball bat through somebody's forehead. I did. I didn't do it. I'm saying I wanted to. I wanted to. It's not God's will for me to hit somebody with a baseball bat. It's not God's will for me to hit somebody with a baseball bat. It's not God's will for me to go to jail with 10 years clean. Nope. Just for today. And my life, that means the things that I do, the way that I act, the way that I show up at work, the way that I show up with my family, the way that I show up with my friends, the way that I show up with my sponsor, the way that I show up with my sponsees, the way that I show up to speak my life to the care of. When I think of the word care, I think of a mother, right? A mother who's holding her baby, this helpless, tiny little thing who can't feed itself or change itself or bathe itself, right? Care is like this nurturing action, right? To do for me what I cannot do for myself. I have to trust the God of my understanding that as long as I'm doing the right thing, I'm going to be taken care of. Now, that does not mean it always turns out the way that I want it to. But it always turns out the way that it's supposed to. I am sad as shit right now. But I'm so grateful I'm here. Right? The first 3 steps are the foundation of my recovery. I can't, we can, let's do this together. Right? I can't, we can, I'm going to let you do it for me. Right? I make the decision to work the rest of the steps in the third step. And then I have to live that decision. Listen, I can decide that I want to eat a fucking sandwich, but if I don't get up and go to the kitchen and make a sandwich, it's not going to show up on my bed. Right? Like, it's that simple. Making a decision is the easy part. The action that comes in the rest of the steps is what's necessary. But my first 3 steps, I have to live on a daily basis, and I've had to live them a lot this year. Like a lot this year. I'm walking around with a broken heart. I'm walking around acting like everything's fucking okay. Because everything is okay. I was so angry at God 10 months ago because the world kept spinning when mine ended. And thank God it did. Like, thank God it did. Thank God for Narcotics Anonymous. Thank God for you guys. Because I don't know what the fuck I would do if I had to end up where I just was and then had to show up here. Like, didn't have to show up here. Like, I'd probably, honestly, I'm sitting in the chair thinking about it. Like, poor Lorenzo's talking to me. Like, he's so excited to see me, and I'm just like, yeah. Like, I want to be at home isolating right now. I want to be at home curled up with my 65-pound lab and just, like, ignore everything. Because my disease wants me to be isolated away from the solution. But my first step is that I'm powerless over these feelings. My feelings are going to come. And if I act on them, my life will become unmanageable. The hope is that tomorrow it may not feel like this. And the third step, I make the decision that as long as I don't act out on this and do the right thing for the right reason, it's going to be okay. Right? It is okay. Even when it's not fucking okay. It's okay to not be okay. Yeah. And you're right where you're supposed to be. Yeah. God damn it.
That's true.
I do that all the time. I'm like, meh. My sponsor will say something like, trust the process. Ugh. Ugh. And then I turn around and I'm saying it to my sponsees. And then they go, eh. Like, bitch, but I told you so, right? Because, like, the truth is like, I do trust the process, and I am right where I'm supposed to be, and it is okay to not be okay. All those cliches, all these stupid things that you see they're there for a reason, because they work. I'm a member of a 12-step program and a very imperfect fellowship. I worked the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. In the last 10 years, I have not found a reasonable excuse to pick up. And I really am living the life beyond my wildest dreams because I didn't have any wild fucking dreams other than to get the next one when I got here. My lights are on, my bed is warm, my dog is fed, my guinea pig is sassy as shit. My life is good. I'm a little overweight, that's okay. Like, my life is good. I'm not chasing the next one. I don't have to sleep with somebody I don't want to. I don't have to beg my family to send me money. My first 3 steps keep me here. Especially when the rest of those motherfuckers fall out the window. I love Narcotics Anonymous. Thank you for asking me to speak. Because you have no idea how bad I needed it. And how bad I didn't want it. You hush your mouth, peanut gallery. If you didn't hear anything that I said, or you didn't relate, or you think I'm full of shit, like, that's cool. Keep coming back. Maybe somebody will touch you. But I needed this today. And just for today, I'm going to get another day clean. Thanks for letting me share. Woo!
Thank you, Michael.